what's going on in these GPUs, because we're ending our news section with drama. It's where we're going back to brain
The
rot.
drama.
Let's go.
Hold on, let me get my skull. Alas, poor Yorick. I knew him well.
Uh-huh.
All right.
Halo art director leaves after 17 years with cryptic message suggesting it was on bad terms. Quote, stay strong, take evidence when necessary, and find where you belong, which is what you say when you leave a company on good terms.
Yes, I'm sure he's very happy. Also saying... go ahead. Go ahead.
I was going to read the full
Yes, I want the
quote
full
this
quote.
comes
Oh, please
from.
do. Please do. I was just about to do that. Good.
He says, as of today, after 17 long years, I am officially no longer contributing to the Halo universe. There is little more I can say for the moment, though I intend to share this particular story in its entirety when it is absolutely safe to do so next year. In the meantime, I have a message for anyone and everyone who needs to hear it. I know that the state of our industry seems dire, but never forget that you are free to choose. No illusion of security nor promise of wealth or fame or power is worth trading away your health, your dignity, your ethics, or values, and no one can force you to. Stay strong, take evidence when necessary, and find where you belong.
Yep.
So there have been a lot of rumors coming out of Halo Studios recently.
Okay.
Mm-hmm.
About there was a stuff during the development of Infinite about contractors, and apparently like 2 years ago they cleaved a ton of the studio. They really just gutted them real good. And apparently there's a bunch of stories about them, like the game, they're working on a remake of Halo 1 in Unreal 5. Halo 1's getting the Unreal 5 treatment. And apparently they're going to be working with Virtuous on that. And it is also going to be using a shit ton of AI to help make it.
Oh, okay.
So.
Man. All right. Yeah. Okay.
Yep.
I mean, Microsoft does love Copilot. They really, 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 really want everyone to be using Copilot. It makes complete sense to me that they're going to be like, hey, put more AI stuff in that game you're making. Get more AI in
I
there.
mean, it's like a lot of these companies.
We're spending a lot of money on this AI. You need to use it more.
It's all in the effort to replace these workers. It's time to start seeing if we can do that.
Yes, get rid of the Flash.
Which,
yes.
The position that Xbox is in right now, at least as a game maker, is like not going well. This is not boding well in that regard either. So why not?
We find out on the 24th. Yeah, the 24th, where the future of the series is going. It's a deep dive panel on the community stage that you won't want to miss. They announced the rebranding on working on multiple Halo games developed in Unreal 5.
All right.
They're probably
watch.
working on a Halo. I mean, I don't know what number you put after Infinity. I guess
Infinity plus one,
Infinity
clearly.
2. Infinity plus 1.
Yeah.
More Infinite.
I was just about to say more Infinite. Well, they're working on a remake of Halo 1 is basically what every leak in the world has said.
Right.
Yeah, they're probably working on both is what I'm saying. They, saying multiple Halo games.
You want your retro stuff and you want your latest and greatest.
I was talking with Anthony about this recently. Halo does feel like the biggest bag fumble in the history of video games.
Such a fumble. It's such a fumble. I mean, last time I was over at your place, we talked about it for forever when we were doing the cartridge tasting, where it's just like, God, it's such a fumble.
Yeah, because it's just like you were the second biggest franchise in the world when Microsoft took over, behind only COD. You were a household name. And over the course of 12 years of consecutive fuck ups, now you are just a B tier live service game for dads.
The fact that Halo killer used to be a term.
Yes,
right?
Huge.
Like people used to advertise their games as Halo killers. That's so addictive. You had so much. and you found
and the thing is, like, Halo Infinite, I'll stand by this. Halo Infinite is the best one since Reach.
Sure. Yeah.
Arguably since 3. It had a fantastic campaign. The multiplayer, the grappling hook is the best Forge in the history of Forge.
Yeah.
Top 3 multiplayer for the franchise as well. But the way that they handled the release of that game, it completely fucked it. If they just delayed it another year, which I know would have sucked, but if they would have just delayed it another year and put out the finished product where they had the full Forge and the co-op and more maps in the multiplayer, that game would still be just cruising.
I think there's one pretty easy solution that they could have used in hindsight to really make Halo probably a way bigger franchise than it is now. They could have taken the bat that they were beating Bungie over the head with for years, and they could have just put it away. They could have just put the bat away. They could have stopped hitting Bungie with the bat.
Bungie stopped after Reach. It was 343 that took over from 4 onward.
Okay, but the reason they stopped after Reach was because of all the bat wounds, because of all the wounds on their body from being hit by the bat.
Okay, so double-edged sword to that is I feel like this is like the one case of 2 terrible companies make each other better. Because I think Bungie has been significantly worse since Microsoft stopped riding its ass. And I think Halo...
Well, I think it's because of the bat they're getting hit with. Still. They're getting hit by new bats.
Yeah, but even when they weren't getting hit by bats, they were independent for like 2-3 years there, and they still kept fucking up.
When they were independent, they were hit by one even bigger bat than the rest, and that's being broke.
Yeah, so, but you look at Bungie's most successful period, it's when they were being beaten by the Microsoft bat.
Because they had the softest bat. They did have the softest bat.
Yes. So
it was a wiffle ball bat.
It was annoying. It was like just stop it.
They left because they thought they might be able to not get hit by the bat. They thought maybe the next place we go won't have a bat.
And then Activision uses a metal bat. And they're like, fuck.
Yeah. So they realized the world in general, just being independent, that's a wooden bat. It was actually kind of worse than being hit by the Microsoft bat. And then they go to Activision, they had a metal bat. They were, oh shit, that's a bad bat. So they left that one, and then they went back to being independent, and now they're getting hit by the wooden bat, and they're actually kind of pleased about it.
Yeah, they're like, well, right now it looks like Sony's loading up a gun. Sony's
loading up a gun.
In development is a series of bat wounds. Jesus.
I just think there's a couple developers throughout history. You know what Nintendo does to their internal developers? They don't hit them with a bat. It's a crazy concept. It's this crazy new approach of not hitting them with a bat.
And then, like, Sony, from what I've heard about Sony's internal development practices, is like, as long as you're like meeting deadlines, they don't hit you with a bat.
They try not to hit you with a bat unless they want to own you, which is what. So they're pulling out the gun for Bungie because they don't actually own Bungie. They own part of Bungie. They have a deal. Bungie. They have a deal where if they shoot Bungie, they get to have the rest of it.
I want to say that Bungie also very much lied to them about their position before buying them.
Yeah.
They lied their asses off.
They said, we've had a couple of years where we haven't been getting hit by a bat, and it's going great. And then they go, all right, great. Yeah, we'll acquire you. They acquire you, and they go, wait a minute. Are you covered in bat wounds? Are those bruises all over your body?
So the answer is then Bungie needs to get a knife.
Bungie does need to get a knife. Bungie needs to get a knife.
Knife versus bat. There you go.
In this case, a knife is a rich man who really likes what they do and doesn't care if they make money.
Right, yeah.
Which I, unfortunately, in the current state of the video game industry, I don't think that is any publisher.
Nope.
I think that you maybe could have gotten away with it with Microsoft a decade ago, provided that you put out games that did pretty okay. Yeah, but yeah, like I think that Bungie was a studio that needed, like, it was this really weird management of Microsoft being demanding and Bungie being like, fine. And then just, dude, it has been negative for both.
They were a mega crunch studio that was putting out some of the best shit Microsoft's ever had. And Microsoft was deeply unthankful and made a lot of the people who worked on Halo, like, they didn't help them become successful on account of their success. And a lot of people had a really hard time who were working at Bungie. And it was just a bad situation for a lot of people there. And then they left because it was bad for all of them. And they had no reason to be there because they knew that being at Microsoft just meant insane deadlines, massive crunch, and no reward for finally putting out something that does gangbusters.
The best part is, though, is they go to Activision where they have to crunch even harder, though. That's the super funny part about that.
Yeah, well, because they leave, they go independent, and then they go, man, being independent's hard. We're really broke because
they went straight to Activision, I thought.
No, I'm relatively sure. I mean, from what I recall, Destiny was independent entirely until
it launched under Activision.
Right. Well, so maybe it was an Activision Blizzard merger that I'm recalling, but they eventually moved to the Blizzard launcher, and that's when people got all worried about their association with Activision. But they needed funding. The whole reason they went to Activision in the first place was that they needed funding because Destiny was really expensive to make. And I mean, every game they've ever made has been really expensive to make. So they've always needed funding, like since Marathon. And so they ended up kind of stuck with, they needed a publisher to have them that could fund them. Go ahead.
I got Bungie's full timeline. Independent studio until Myth 2, where their installer bug basically made them nearly go bankrupt and they got acquired by Microsoft. Then in 2007, they split from Microsoft under the deal of, you are going to make us 2 more Halo games before you are done. Right. They finished that in 2010 and then sign a 10-year publishing deal with Activision to fund and publish Destiny. Then
they're published. Okay.
And then after 9 years, they terminate the partnership early, and which that should have told you that those games were not making money. Activision letting them go, in hindsight. And then Bungie got the Destiny rights and it became a self-published studio. And then 3 years later, they were acquired by Sony Interactive Entertainment, but stayed a multi-platform developer. I think what is happening now, though, because Sony got the books or saw the bat wounds and was like, okay, yeah, you don't actually make money, but you are very talented. So we're just going to completely gut this studio, move all your talent into our own live service studio, and then shoot you in the face.
Well, so the issue is that they can't yet because they part of their acquisition deal with Bungie is that Bungie is able to effectively operate independently as long as they're reaching certain performance metrics. So there's been a lot of stories of layoffs at Bungie as of the recent year or two, and those have been entirely because Sony's performance metrics that they're demanding is requiring them to make immediate profit lest they be fully acquired. Basically, the board of Bungie will be removed and replaced with just Sony people, whereas right now it's like a 50-50. And so they're trying to avoid the scenario where Sony gets complete control over Bungie. And to do that, they're laying people off and they're doing whatever they can to make their certain profitability metrics. They have to make that quarter to continue existing, basically.
So I pulled up the deal here and where it's at now. So as of 2024, Sony began a structural shift, moving 12% of Bungie staff into PlayStation and increasing direct oversight. Structural reform has reduced Bungie's independence, which was promised as part of the acquisition. With no traditional CEO now, Pete Parsons went bye-bye. Bungie's leadership now reports directly to PlayStation, indicating towards a move towards more central management and a focus on Sony revenue targets.
Yeah, I believe
So,
they, in fact, basically just already lost this combat they had with Sony, trying to keep
yeah.
their independence.
A couple other things to note here. A lot of like high up Bungie people were basically just waiting on a set amount of time to leave, and then they would get a giant equity payout. So
Mhm.
they're probably just coasting into that.
Yeah.
Yeah, I don't know. I've been of the mindset of a while at this point that I'm just like, I'm okay, old yellowing Bungie.
Right, but the thing is that this, this arc in Bungie, where for Halo continued being beaten by bats. Right, it became an independent entity once 343 was created. A lot of people from Bungie stayed behind.
Yeah, a good amount of people did.
For 343 because they just love Halo and they just wanted to continue working on Halo. Including the person to whom this story is about, Mr. Glenn Israel. And so the issue is that 343 Studios, they went, all right, you're fully ours now. We can upgrade our bat's hardness. and they got a worse bat and they started hitting him.
There were also studio stories that came out because they hired a bunch of external people for 343 because, of course, they did new studio. And a lot of the mindset about those people was, we're going to make Halo ours. We're going to make our Halo. And nobody wanted your Halo. They wanted Halo. That's the truth of the matter with that particular
thing.
I
mean, Halo 4 was particularly a big shift for like their approach to the writing of the series. It seems like a lot of the people that stayed behind at 343 were huge fans of the books. And the books are
that checks out.
The books are really different. Now, by all accounts, from what I've heard, the books are fantastic.
They are.
Right? Like people,
half of them are really good. I particularly love Contact Harvest. I think Contact Harvest is the shit.
Specifically the Forerunner trilogy that goes over the Forerunner Human War and
that's a good book too.
All the prehistory stuff. People love that shit. And that's like the main thing that the lore is drawing off of now. Like that's their lore background. Halo 1, 2, 3, and Reach have fundamentally disagreeing lore. Like the switch to Halo 4 and to the book lore required retconning a lot of information. Like an example being that the original intention, very clearly, if you follow the story closely for Halos 1 through 3, is that the Forerunners were ancient humans, right? Like that is clearly the original intent of the story. There's a lot of information in there that points to that. It's the whole reason that, you go to Guilty Spark and it's like, oh, Reclaimer, hey, you're the guy. You're so important. Because you're human and humans are the guys that actually made him, right? But the books say, no, actually Forerunners are a fundamentally different group of people. And there were ancient humans, but they didn't get along with the Forerunners. Is a different thing entirely. And there's just a lot more high sci-fi stuff that in there that's like, obviously Halo's always been very sci-fi, but it's like really fucking super tech level sci-fi shit that was not originally in the Halo trilogy and Reach, that changed the direction of how they wrote the story, in that they were trying to get more of that in, and they definitely did, right? Halo 4 has a lot of stuff from the novels and so does Halo 5, and it actually displeased a lot of people because it shifted attention away from the stuff that a lot of the common audience was into, and this was paired with a development shift where they were giving them less like dedicated crew that were just the Halo
contractor.
team.
Yeah, it was a lot of contractors, and then
a lot of contractors.
And then like there was obviously a huge design shift in multiplayer. It really felt like the multiplayer went to in 4 specifically. Anthony and I went to capture a bunch of Halo footage recently, and when we're playing MCC of Halo 4, this does not feel like Halo. This feels like some bastardization of Halo and Call of Duty morphed together.
It feels like the guys at Respawn didn't get to make Titanfall yet. They said strip all the stuff out. Strip all the stuff out. Strip all the movement stuff out and add only sprinting, and then, you know, make it feel jilted, right? But like it doesn't feel like Halo and it doesn't feel like Call of Duty either.
No, it feels like a bastardization of the two molded together, and it's like it's very unsatisfying. Halo 5 was closer to what Halo is. It's just it kind of reminds me of Halo 2 in the fact that it is wildly competitive. Halo 5 as a competitive multiplayer game is actually awesome. It is super good. But they don't understand the party element of Halo. And actually, Halo Infinite was fun. Oh shit! Just dropped my phone. And Halo Infinite is like actually the closest they've ever gotten to 3 Reach 2, where it's like, yes, it is a good competitive game, but it is also a dope party game.
Well, you know what my biggest problem was though? I was a kid when Halo 4 came out, right?
Yeah.
I was in middle school, and I was a big Halo fan.
Same.
Me and my dad just obsessed with Halo, right? It's one of the only games my dad's ever played. My dad, he's played a ton of Halo and a ton of Diablo, but mostly Halo, right? And it's all, you know, it was a big bonding thing for us. So I was really hyped for Halo 4, and it came out, and the fucking suits look bad. That was
most of them are very ugly. Most of them are very, very ugly. My biggest
problem. I think that this was likely because this is what I heard from everybody. Everyone I knew. Again, I was in a group of people that all loved Halo. I was in a semi-pro Halo team in high school at the time. Like it was, you know, I was big in Halo, and everyone fucking hated the way Spartans looked. The weird muscle, like it was a bunch of exposed muscle suit, and it's like, what the fuck are you doing? Why did you make less armor on there?
Well, and the phrasing used from internal conversations was, we wanted to make our Halo, and it's just like,
right,
it goes back to, okay, but the audience doesn't want your Halo, they want Halo, which is what Infinite was. It's just Infinite was an unfinished game.
Well, and you know, the weird skin suits, they also match a lot of the art for the ancient humans in Halo lore. So it was like, we're getting them, they're starting to look like this because the humans, and it's like, I don't fucking care. Master Chief is a walking tank guy. I want to be that.
Yep, absolutely. Man.
All right.
But we were all big Halo fans, and we're going to continue to monitor where Halo goes.
No, we're going to be watching this Halo thing that comes out, and you'll hear about our thoughts on it. Regardless of our stances on Xbox, Halo is literally where this podcast started, was born years and years ago. So
Yep.
We'll always be kind of tied to
and we're
it.
going to play Halo next Saturday. I'm excited.
We're going to play Halo next Saturday. Let's see if we can stream it. It'll be good.
Everybody get Infinite and MCC installed.
All right.
I just messaged Parker. Yo, get both ready.
Okay.
Let's get it.
Good.
I'm ready.
All right. And that is the news